Sorry, y'all. I don't know what YouTube's doing, um, but something happened. And right in the middle of my broadcast, it all froze up. So my apologies, and thanks to anybody that came back, anybody that didn't. I don't know what to tell you. But had a house full of folks when that joint happened. Yo, Lions, yo, Michelle. Maybe this is good that happened so I could come back. I could see y'all and see people come back in the chat and I could speak and say good morning. Good morning. Stuff happens. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Just YouTube. Ain't like I make any money here. All right, where's my thing? Yeah. So I'm getting ready to cut this knife out. And I do have a preferred blade for that. And I believe I have it here. Pretty sure I have it here. Don't worry, I have others if it doesn't happen to be in this case. Dozens. And some flap discs and such. I don't see it. Oh crap. Yeah. I've been using a very specific blade that I really like, but I don't see it. But without it, I've got these other options. Got this as an option as well. Oh, that sucks though. So bad. I don't like a good smooth cutting tool, you know what I mean? But it's my own lesson in organization. If everything was where it was supposed to be, I wouldn't be looking for anything. That's on me. That's on me. Accountability is the only way to make your life better. Not hunting down all the invisible people who are ruining it for you. It is the most visible person who is ruining your life. Oh. All right, so do we use the turbo? We'll just use the metal cutoff wheel. These are so messy though. Look how thick. Ugh, that's what I don't like about it. So yeah. But I don't know where else it could be other than at the job where I last had this grinder. And I ain't driving over there to get it. Tighten that blade up. I'm gonna move some of this stuff off of this table while this happens, so that we don't have a bunch of additional catastrophe to concern ourselves with. We are going to make a blade for this. That's also going to happen. It's going to be based on that little edge, and then I think I'm going to make a hook blade. That was wild that they dumped my feed. Yeah, they dumped my feed, so anybody that came back, could you please tap that like again for me? because there's a couple hundred people passing through. Then the feed quit on us. So thank you, whoever it is, whoever did. Let me catch a chat up real quick. Born got DIYs in here. Dope. Welcome in people. That like button is for some free stuff. Did it just then for no reason? Yeah, I'm looking at it on my monitor and on my thing, but of course I got my phone in front of me as I'm recording it. On my phone, it's just running. It looks fine. And I look up, and there's like 3 people in the chat, and there were about 150. And then I was like, where'd everybody go? And then I looked at my screen, and I've got the swirly cube going, so I guess it froze up. I don't really believe in those conspiracies. I don't see what the advantage to damaging a little channel like mine would do for anybody. So I just assume this is a lot of developing technology, and sometimes it's glitchy. But what we're getting ready to do right now is cut that knife out, because we can control that. I can control this algorithm. I can cut this blade. I need this, and I need to remember that I need it. It's for a thing in my truck. Put it here. Let's get some glasses on. Let's get some gloves on. Let's get the mask off the floor. Matter of fact, why don't we just crack open a new joint? Oh, that stuff on it. I always got more gloves. Just in case it gets sketchy. We'll get some of the money off of us. Be sure our goggles are clear and clean. I need some more shop towels. freaking fat, this thing. Oh, and this is such thick metal. I hate knowing I have something to do this better and not having access to it of my own foolish ways. You even getting metal shavings in this shop. I want to throw this in the trash can, but I'm like, maybe you could. Okay, I'm gonna sit it right here. Just like that. All right. I'll do the same thing and knock that off. Get some stuff out of my way here. Gotta make sure you got nothing flammable nearby. Set my pocket on fire. Look at. Sheesh. Glad I didn't have like a lighter in there. That would have sucked. Worse than that sucked. Alright. Back at it. Protect yourself, kids. I'm now actively taking donations in the chat for New Jeans Funds. Thank you. That's been a service announcement. First off, this is the toughest thing you've seen all day. Hit that button up there. Only way this could be tougher of a Saturday morning is if Terrence Crawford were in the chat threatening me. So hit the button. I'm making a knife out of a saw blade. Jesus. What else you want? All right.
You want lightning? You want me to bring lightning from the sky and rain down thunder? Sheesh. Doing everything. 75 years later.
This should be like, you should be excited that it's taking this long. You should be like, this guy's really getting after it. But you hate it. set myself on fire for y'all. Yo, but all joking aside, we're probably 90+% through this metal right here. We're gonna cut this tip so that we can release it this way and not rely on that tip for it. Then we should be good to go. Hey Elaine, hey Key, how y'all doing? All right. Best in a cutting blade and stop cutting with a grinding wheel. Hey James, if you had gone back in the chat, you would have saw that when I first got in, I was talking about my specific blade that I wanted for this, but I'm an active working contractor and I left it on the job site. So I had some backups, so I used them. So relax, okay? It's not wasting time because we're not on the clock, okay? I'm enjoying this plenty, and that's the time that I'm interested in, that I'm enjoying it, till you came in and started popping off. Just appreciate that somebody's doing something that you found interesting enough to come watch and not be a jerk about it. Okay? You can bounce. That's fine. Teaching me something. Oh, that's in a cutting wheel. Oh yeah, a wheel that cuts. Do you see what we're making? We're making a knife out of this. Do you think the matter is that I just don't know what I need? Like, can't we just all go out and buy a knife? Right? I could just go buy a knife. But we're making stuff. You get this all the time. I get this all the time. You're supposed to save the Monday morning quarterbacking for Monday morning, not Saturday. Either way, we got a blade. And we're going to put this in some water because it's freaking hot. And we don't want to keep doing that to it, right? And we don't want to keep doing that to it. So I'm going to go make sure I've got some water that we can just sit this in every time we get it hot from this point forward. I may heat treat it. I don't know. I don't think so, but I might. Either way, in the meantime, while y'all are bored of me setting myself on fire for your entertainment value, go ahead and hit that button up there. I think I gotta do some sanding just to clean up that blade and see. Now I cut back away from the actual knife I want because I knew I was gonna burn through and overheat some of that along the way. So I want to be able to kind of grind that off and get back to the good treated metal. You know what I'm saying? What wood am I using for the handle? Michelle, I'm about to blow your mind right now. Okay. I got a box of treats. Amongst those treats was this right here. Right here. And I got that from Eco Woodcrafts. I don't know if you're friends with my buddy Eco Woodcrafts, but he sent me this wood and said, I think you can do some cool stuff with it. He fusion dyes this. I don't know how the process goes, but I'm gonna show you real quick what happens once you put finish on this wood. It's just water right now, right? Like, can you believe this is wood? You can see from there. Can you believe this is wood? It's like Van Gogh's Starry Night. It's amazing. It's crazy. This is wood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. All right. Let me put this in the drying box from Chad's workshop. Okay. Back to our show. Ooh, metal splinter. Ugh. Hey, don't tell nobody y'all saw me putting gloves on, all right? Dirk from Australia, how you doing? Hold on, y'all, I'm getting a call. Hello, this is Wes.
Hello?
And again. Another nobody. I always end up with a whole bunch of right-hand gloves. So bizarre. All right. Hey, Dirk from Australia. Salathan, how you doing? Echo, yo, yo, yo. This is Echo, who I'm talking about right now. Not only did I ruin my pair of jeans, I got shavings in my coffee. I can't drink metal shavings in my coffee. The blue material looks great. Look up Eco Woodcrafts. Is who you can go click on Eco. If you would put your link down below, I'll pin it, and he can hit that button and see you. All right, and see what he's done with these cool things, because he produces that stuff. It's pretty amazing, or at least got it to me, anyways. So now we can take this over to the grinder, and we didn't call it the grinder, it was the sander. But we got 80 grit on there now. That ought to do fine. And this one is, I can't tell. Yeah, that's the 82. So we got 80 grit both ways. We should be able to make a shake over here. Inglewood.
think I got a tool for that. We'll start it with this. Dear, your English is terrible. I'm sorry, Dirk. Sorry to hear that. What do you think? Should we do anything different? Or is that enough? Okay. Thanks, Eco. Last it'll be back good. I had a bulb on me just now. All right. Ugh. It's pretty good. We can start sharpening the blade, I guess, at this point. It's pretty thick. And we'll have to find the center of that, and then we'll bevel to it a couple times and see what we can get from there. Let's get something small. I don't know if a pencil will let me do what I want to do here. No. Maybe a little something that can etch it. Or I could put the marker on it. Do it that way. Not that dark, and I think I want to go almost all the way up on this one with the blade. I hope this is not a mistake, but I want to go all the way up here if I can. Now, I'm supposed to be following the blade when I do that, so I'm making a little adjustment here. That'd be too far. Okay. That's essentially what I need to do. That's the top. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this backwards because I should be marking the place that, anyway, this is what it is. The goal is this. Try to get this thing in a position on your hand where you're riding the blade, pull it. It should do it for you. I'm going to go a little bit lower than that because I want to stay. Yep. So everything from here down, all of that's going to be sharpened that way. Same for that. I might try this with the fire right here for a little bit. See how that goes. Might even try it with this power sander. I might. But let me lock this down. See how that's gonna work. At some point, we're gonna have to drill those dreaded holes, and I feel sorry for both of us when I have to. But this is what we signed up for, right?
Hello, this is Wes.
Hello?
Goofy. All right, here we go. It'll be tough. Now, you notice I'm putting a lot of effort up front right now because what I want to do is have to work this and then turn and try to manage that. But I can hit this right here because what you're doing is it creates a hump and you're just basically pushing the hump back slowly. And it's easier to do that right here to here, and then I'll do it from there to there after. Now, there's a lot of sparks here, and I'm not at the halfway mark on my blade yet. Now, if you're concerned about heat, when it's too hot, it discolors, sort of like what's happening just right here, and it weakens it. But when that discoloration is gone, the weakness is gone. So the point is not to burn through so long and so hard that you're burning through, but cutting through. And if you start to burn, just stop and then do that so that you don't continue to burn through and spread that weakness through the knife. And back at it. See if I can give you a better. What I'm doing right now is working this edge.
See? Oh, subscribed. I appreciate that, Derek. Good stuff. So I'm going to take this out of the clamp for a second so we can take a look at it. And if we look at it from the top, we can see how close that bevel is to center that we started. It's just super hot. Let me cool it down a little bit. Plunge it a little bit in some nearby water. But you can see we haven't lost discoloration or anything like that. It's going to be a gradual process of getting this over to the center. We're close, but we're not there. And we've still got to do this side over here too. So we will go ahead and get this side started as well. And then we'll meet somewhere in the middle. I have to shift you back a little bit. Pushing that mound back, right? That's my goal.
get it, but it's a process. We can do it fast or we can do it right. With the equipment that we've got, that is. We do not have the luxury of doing it fast and right. Without a couple $1,000 more in equipment, that is. We're going to tackle this curved blade first. Oh, I like what's happening right now. I like what's happening right now. We're getting to a tip. Now we just have to hit this side again. And then we'll have this tip done. Yes, telemarketer. What can I do for you, telemarketing? Did I short circuit you? Sorry, telerobot. My bad. Short circuited the telemarketing robot. Might have accomplished my good deed for the day already. Cut my blade. I'm at my, but you know, I've essentially got infinite sanding blade, what's the word? These things. I got lots and lots of these things. Let's see what this one is, though. That's pretty rough. That might be what we want. Going this way. Yeah, that's right. This little tool be putting in work. Like, this little tool is worth its weight in cornbread.
This edge right here is getting close. And then we'll be going down it. There. Over five side crumble. Oh,
Okay. Another pass. We still don't have a apex yet. Working down to it. Working down to it. We're doing the very tip, but we got to make sure we don't go too far on one side or the other. Knock it down a little bit more here. And what we're doing is trying to push that blade all the way back. Almost all the way back. Got an apex.
I think we got us a respectable knife started. And see if this is something that we can sharpen. Let's see. Let's clean off a little bit, a little bit. I know. Just gotta get rid of this burr. Get rid of this burr first. Got too much junk on my desk. It ain't sticking. I gotta clean this off. Give me 2 seconds to do that. $400 grit stones.
stone for a second. Wet hands and latex don't work as good as you'd like. But I never think about that until way after the fact. How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Oh my God, are you in here preaching? It's a weird place to preach, brother. All right. Hey, First West. What's going on, Randall? Happy first to you too. For us around here, that means there's a car show tomorrow that we get to go to. I'm trying to avoid hitting that arm on that thing. What you doing with your day, Randall? Anything interesting? We're gonna start out with this 400 grit because we're pretty new on this knife here. We just made it. So I'm gonna stay with 400 for a while and see if we can get that edge nice and uniform before we move on to the higher grits. And this forward method, as I understand it, just helps with that burr that you're forming on the end of the knife as you go. And people who are more educated than me told me that. Now that doesn't mean it's absolute. It means it's better than what I came up with on my own. These are Amazon Basics whetstones. Fairly inexpensive buy. Been very effective product for me. So far, you can see that we're starting to form a little micro edge there. You want to maintain that. Careful your glove doesn't roll under your blade. That's terrible. You see all that burr coming off. It's a good thing. At this stage, we want to be removing material. because we're just kind of getting down to the very beginning of the sharp of this thing. If we don't get it right in this stage, everything behind this doesn't do anything. So we got to get it right on the 400 block. Then we move up to the higher grits. Back. Move to the 4,000. I'm sorry, the 1,000 grit. See how that does. So much trash. Okay. If they let me and don't shut me down, I'm going to try to stay on until this knife is complete. Maybe. I am going to stay on at least until this blade is legitimately sharp. Let's get some more water on it. Hello, telemarketer.
Hello.
Hey, what can you bother me with today?
Hey, good morning, Janice here. The purpose of my call today is to inform you that the annual enrollment of Medicare 2026 has started, and now qualifying for it can give you enhanced benefits like food and flex cards and whatnot by paying even less premiums for it. To confirm your eligibility, can you tell me if you have Part A and B of Medicare?
I can tell you I don't like your face.
Can you tell me the reason what is making you not interested?
You smell bad, and it's bothering me.
That might be someone else. This is my first time ringing you, but I'm sorry as I know how frustrating it can be. My apologies, but I want to talk to you about the new benefits, including food and flex cards with coverages inclusive of hospital visits and doctor checkups. Now you can even get cashback rewards up to $250, and I want to make sure you get the best plan possible. So you do have Part A and B of Medicare, right?
You should update your scam. The whole country is at a standstill right now. Goofball.
Well, I was asking if you have both Part A and B of Medicare.
This robot sucks.
Let us talk about this some other time. Thanks.
All right. One more quick run on the fire. Come on, stop sliding. It's just more reason to flatten this desk today. Plus, it's getting ugly. It's not really any denying that. It's also getting ugly. $3,000 grit. Hey, Smoke, what's going on? Oh man, I just had a live going a little while ago, I guess a couple hours now. But I had a couple hundred folks in here and it just started spinning on me. And I was probably down to 2 people by the time I realized it. And so I came back
said, they'll never shut West Desert down. West Desert is forever. Where's my rag? Soak up more junk. But look, Smoke, we built a new knife today. Cut that out of a big old giant circ saw blade. And though people hated on it, it got done. So I guess people hating on it don't really matter all that much, does it? Because we still get it done. Now, what I do have to know at this stage of my knife build is, was there a reasonable angle I put on that blade? I don't know yet because I haven't tried to cut anything yet. So, I'm a little scared, but I'm gonna try. Okay. Decent. It's not what I'm after, if I'm being honest. I'm not fully. I can always resharpen, right? Let's try it. Let's keep going. Hit it with the straps, and then we'll chest it once we've done that. Ow, splinter your eye. You didn't have eye protection. Oh, man, you can't do that, Smoke. I just said to Russian man what you did, Wes. Thank you, Irina. It's nice to have smart people in the chat. A couple educated folks in the auto language, he said in a bad French accent. Smoke, you never know which way I'm gonna whittle butter. I might whittle here, whittle a whittle there, whittle a little whittle everywhere. Wes does whittling as well as any wanderer. But why should I wonder, though? I do have a wonder glow. It's under my bumper, though.
very focused on this part of the blade right here, right now. It's usually the part of the blade where if there's a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out what a DJ revolves it. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. 15 minutes later, I get the joke Smoke was making. I knew about the flow, bro. Ah. I haven't been showing y'all much of the blade as I'm going. I apologize. I get a little self-important over here. I forget that this is your knife. It's a knife for the people. It's cleaned up pretty good. All the shimmeries. Shimmering. Don't know if it means anything yet. This might be where the rubber meets the road. Story of my life. Arena is in here breaking things down in Russian for us, for the international crowd. And that is so appreciated. I really do appreciate that. You like what you're doing? Arena, I'm going to, listen, I'm going to make you a mod. Because that was pretty cool. And I need to know when you're in here so I can say, hey, this is my Soviet connector.
Oh, that's very nice. Tell him thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that, Miss Irina. Thank you. That's dope. Thank you. I don't know if people bow in Russia, but I think pretty universally. Sort of a symbol of gratitude. Let's see if that edge does what it looks like it could do. We'll have to see. Nope. Some success. Now, gotta figure out handles. Does that work? That works so perfect, it's crazy. My only regret is that I'm gonna have to get rid of so much of that material. Like, it bums me a little bit that I'm gonna have to get rid of some of that material. However, crazy thing is, I'm gonna have to also, yay. They're leaving? Okay. My kids are going away, so I gotta go. I will be back. Maybe an hour. I'll grab something to eat, and I'll be back with you. Don't forget about me. Subscribe, follow, so you can see me again.